Lexi, and I just want to get into the video of my childhood trauma and how it's made me the person I am today, right? Right now I'm in Barbados. His lit bitch. So yeah, anyway, into it. So as a child, I honestly don't remember much from when I was born to about third grade. Third grade. Like I remember just school things, like being in school. I didn't remember much about being home. Besides being with my godfather, Neil. May he rest in peace. Yeah, so I don't really remember much from the third grade. It was just a lot of outings. I do remember that. It was just a lot of outings. Like me and my cousins would go out a lot, especially in the summertime. My mom always had my cousins. But then from third grade to sixth grade, I moved around a lot. Sorry, these lizards is getting a little crazy because now they're on the floor and I'm getting scared. Just move that way. Just that way. Back to it though. So me moving around a lot between the third and sixth grade, I just felt like I would always continue to move around. So I never wanted to get close to anybody. And then I was really close to family growing up, like my cousins and stuff like that. But as we grew older, I don't know what happened. You know, it was a lot of things that were going on between my mom and my aunts and shit like that. So growing up was very weird. Like I was just close to my cousins. I wasn't close to my aunts or nothing like that. Wasn't really big on family because it was always me, my mom, and my brother. That I knew from young. Like it was just always us three. So that was just my concern, you know. But yeah, so I mean at the same time, like me being by myself, because my brother was 8 years older than me, so it kind of like left me to be with my cousins or be by myself. So then I just grew to enjoy my own company, and it was just like there was a lot of peace, just me being with myself. So it was like there was no need to actually interact with people, right? At the same time, from sixth grade until I want to say high school, moved to Brooklyn. And growing up in Brooklyn, everybody grew up with each other. So it was like, you know, you feel like the outcast. And then I never really got close to people. I only got close to one girl, well, two girls. One was my next door neighbor. Other one was a next door neighbor, but she lived across the street. But yeah, around that time, I felt like I was being neglected by my mom because she got into a new relationship and they started adopting kids, right? And with them adopting kids, they were younger than me, so they needed more attention, they needed therapy, they needed, you know, everything. So I was kind of neglected, right? So of course my mom didn't want to neglect me. Like she was like, toss that bitch to the side. But that's how it felt, right? So in high school I started acting out, trying to get attention, but of course it was the wrong way. I was stealing, I was cutting school, I was fighting. The fighting really never got back to my mom. It was mostly the stealing and the cutting school. Cutting school because the school would call stealing. One of my friends told my mom what I used to be doing, like kind of friend you. But yeah, so it was that. Then my father was never around. My father, I don't even remember my mom and my dad being together, right? And I only went to my dad's house in the summer, and even then I wouldn't be around him. Like, we wouldn't spend time together. we would He would like take me to get a pair of sneakers, and that would be that, and like some clothes sometimes, because he even felt like I would only call him when I wanted something. But it's like, you're not around for anything else, so cash out a little bit something, like. But it is what it is. So, my father not being around, that I didn't trust guys. I was running, chasing after guys, I wouldn't say chasing after guys, because I had brothers, so I knew what it was to be around guys and shit like that, and how guys' thought process was. But the relationships I was in, had me chasing them. So my high school relationship, it was a blessing in disguise, because this person toughened me up for what would come, and installed some things into me that after him I knew I would never ever deal with the situation again. And I'm not gonna lie, like, he taught me well, because I never dealt with that situation again. I always got out of a situation if I saw the same signs. So with that, being without a father figure, my brother was around, but my brother didn't have a father as well, so he didn't really know how to be there. And then I was very annoying as a child, because we was 8 years apart, so that took into effect of things. And my mom would be into her relationship as well, because that's all she knew, that's how she was raised, so I can't knock her for that. So it was kind of a pattern, but if you know better, you do better. So with that being said, I started to see and I started to feel certain things. Like, it didn't feel right. Like, and I'm very big on intuition and energy and vibes. So things didn't feel right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got out of my high school relationship. That was like a fake DV case as well. I don't know how that even lasted. But as I said, it was a blessing in disguise, because it made me stronger. It made me realize my worth. As much as I didn't know my worth, because I stood in something that wasn't worth my time, I still grew and found my worth, because it was just like, you told me to never let anyone treat me this way, so why are you doing it, right? So it was just like narcissistic, manipulative behavior. I wasn't with it. And so let that go. Got into another relationship, this was like 3 years after. I want to say maybe 2 years after, I want to say. And my mom showed tough love. So before getting into this actually second relationship, I went through a period of time where I felt like I didn't have anyone. Like, I distanced myself. I lost so much weight, but definitely made me strong. So after high school, I went into college, forced into college. Me and my mom, shaky relationship ever since high school, because I was misbehaving. She didn't know why. I didn't know how to really explain myself. We didn't talk. Like, we don't communicate as a family. Like, it was always do as you're told. I'm the parent. I know better. So it was just like, I always had to shut up. And I knew that wasn't right. So me and my mom would go back and forth, because I would open my mouth and I would say whatever it was that was on my mind, because it was just like, I have feelings too. Like, this doesn't feel right. I never found a way to communicate it, but I just knew deep down inside, like, this wasn't how things were supposed to go. So, you know, I stood my ground, which put a dent in our relationship. So with that being said, I was stealing, because it was just like my mom wasn't giving me whatever it is that I wanted. So I was stealing. I had to go get it. And that's when I was introduced to, you know, entrepreneurship, being a hustler. Had to get it by any means. Like, you had to get it how you was living. So my mom wasn't trying to get it to me. What was I gonna do? But I had to stop that, because that wasn't right either. I was taken away from, you know, kids. I didn't know what their parent was into. I didn't know what was going on in their household. So it was just like, it wasn't right. I ended up stopping one day because I didn't even get caught, but somebody else got caught. I just so happened to be with them, and it turned out that my mother was the only person to answer the phone, which actually got us out, because if not, we would have been locked up. But I don't think we would have been locked up because we were underage, so somebody would have had to come down anyway. So, but I was scared. I never dealt with the cops, so I was just like, listen, call my mother, let her know what's up. They let us go. That was that, right? Had to pay like a little fee. Anyway, so, you know, to narrow it down, I was neglected, emotionally abused, mentally abused. And it sounds crazy to be like, oh, mentally, emotionally abused, because people have been through worse. But this is what happened to me, and this is those situations made me who I am. And, you know, they happened, and I had to make the best of it or not. Anyway, so I was wilding throughout high school, finished high school, forced into college. I was kind of like trying to do what my mom told me to do, but still hold my ground at the same time. So me and my mom, we got into it bad, to the point where I, like, she would always kick me out. Like, if you're not here by 11, then I don't know what to tell you. My doors are being locked. You're not having keys. It's not a third. Like, she would take my keys. So, I mean, me being me, like, me thinking, you don't do nothing for me, feel me? So how you gonna tell me come to your house at this time if you don't even, me, I'm thinking, like, you're not even a parent. Like, you allow me to raise my little cousin and to raise all these little kids, because it was like, you're the oldest, so you have to be responsible, and you have to do this and take responsibility for your younger siblings, blah, 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 blah. And I wasn't with it. Those are not my kids. They're not even family. You feel me? Like, you already pushed me off to the side. That's how I felt. So, yeah, it was just like, anyway. So she ended up kicking me out because I didn't come home at the time that she wanted. I was fed up with everything. So, I ended up leaving. It was like a leave, kick out, because I didn't want to stay there anyway, and I wanted to leave, but it was a matter of trying to figure out where I was going. So I ended up staying at a friend's house for like a month, but things got uncomfortable there because they just got uncomfortable. And I put myself into a shelter. I made it happen. So I was in the shelter for about a year. Shit was like, I felt so embarrassed. Like, I would not come around whatsoever. But I went into the shelter for about a year. I put up with that. Formed a new relationship around that time too. And, you know, he helped me through a lot. He definitely helped me through a lot. Shout out to you, because you know who you are, if you plan on watching this. But he got me through a lot. Like, that was my home skillet. You know, till this day, he's still there for me, even though we're not together. Like, so that means a lot. that actually changed my view on men, you know, because I knew that not all men were the same. We didn't work out for whatever reason, you know, me being toxic, him being, you know, having toxic ways. I mean, but it all stems from this childhood trauma. So, yeah, I didn't trust men. I didn't trust men at all. I know I'm jumping around, but it's just the thought process of how it's coming in. But I didn't trust men at all. Like, there was a situation where I was even almost touched. Well, I was touched, but I didn't let it go on for so long. So my cousin, he passed. One time I'm in my grandmother's house, and what's crazy is people knew that he was foul and he would violate, like, and he was disgusting and sick like that because he did it to other people. So I didn't understand why y'all even let this nigga be around other females, and he did it to family members, so whatever. Anyway, so me and my grandma, I went to my grandma's house. My grandma and my cousin was sleeping, and I was sleeping on the bed. I wasn't sleeping with him because I don't feel like my grandmother would have did that. Like, I don't honestly know. I just know that I was laying down. He tried to touch me, but I felt like his hand trying to, you know, and I instantly got up, and I'm just like, no, this isn't it. I won't be that person. Like, because I'm not gonna lie, from young, if it was one thing my mother taught me, don't let anybody touch you. Like, she would even ask me, like, has your brother touched you? Because you never know, brother, uncles, fathers, like, and I'm always like, yo, you're bugging, that's my brother. But being older, things like that do happen often. So shout out to her for, like, really putting me on at a young age. But and I'm talking, this was like maybe 12, 13 that this happened. So I instantly got up and went into my grandmother's bed, right? So I stood there. I never really said anything until now. But yeah, like, I mean, I don't feel no way because I was violated, but I wasn't violated to the extent where, like, he actually did something. He did, but he didn't at the same time. So yeah, that just made me not trust guys. But being in that second relationship with him, with the guy that helped me out throughout me being in the shelter, it made me realize that not all guys are the same. And, you know, everybody is just going through what they're going through, and everybody handles things different, right? So we were together like 6 years. That was cool. We went our separate ways. Really, not really, because that's still my homie. But yeah, that made me realize, like, not all guys are the same. So I just opened up a little more. But I have trust issues in general. My mom would lie. I would catch her in a lie. But I tried my best not to be a liar. Like, I would tell little white lies to, like, get me out of shit. And it's mostly, like, feeling wise, because I never wanted to express myself. As I said, we never spoke about anything. So, you know, feeling neglected, emotionally and mentally abused, what is it, like, sexually harassed or something. You know, just not having my father around. All these things led to me being the person who I am. You know, people take advantage of me sometimes because I'm nice, and I would never say anything. But it was like, as time went by, it was just like, yo, people are gonna step on you, and they're gonna continue stepping on you, and it's up to you to decide whether you're gonna allow it or not. So, you know, I grew some balls, and I really put my foot down, and now it's just like, she's a bitch. And it's just like, I'd rather take the bitch title than to be that person, to be that weak person sitting crying all the time because, you know, a victim, because I allowed people to treat me the way they treat me. Because that's what it is. It's what you allow. If you set boundaries for yourself, then there would be no reason you're going through certain things more than once, because you already touched the fire. It's like, it's hot, I'm not going through it again, right? So So I went through some shit. Like, I would never get along with my mom's partners. Some of them. I don't want to say some of them I would get along with. Some of them I wouldn't. There was one in particular while I was in junior high school through high school where it didn't sit well with me. And we would go back at it. We would go like at it. And she was a correctional officer, and her being around inmates, I guess she brought the job home. There's no way that you cannot bring that home. She brought it home. And it would just be certain, like, listen, I'm not inmate 75672. Like, you're not gonna speak to me like this. No, like, you're not supposed to speak to them like that. So I'm not, nah, we're not doing this, homie. Like, so we always went back at it. And then, you know, my mom doing what she had to do and what she felt that she had to do in order to take care of me, she did. So it was like, listen, in order to keep a house over our heads, you know, I'm gonna have to do X, Y, Z, which takes away from me. I didn't know that then. I know this now. So I understand it more, and I understand her backstory and her being traumatized as a child and what she went through. So I take that into consideration. But I was angry for a long time because I didn't understand why it would be me. Like, I'm your child. Why is it that I'm going through this? You went through this, so why would you repeat it? But, you know, some people, they're not able to be like, you know, this is not what I want. I'm not going to repeat this. I'm going to change. And they just repeat it anyway because that's all they know, you know. But I knew better, because one thing my mom did know was that she didn't want us to be like everyone else. She didn't want us to have the same life. And then my mom is bougie. So it was just like, she has to be a certain way, you know. So with her wanting to live a certain lifestyle, that brought change into our lives. So what she lacked, she kind of introduced us to, and we had to figure that out on our own. You know, she kind of like put us in there, figure it out. And I feel like as you should, because had she held our hand, it would have been way different. Now I don't wait for anybody to do anything. I'm doing whatever it is that I need to do on my own, and I'm gonna do it, like whether you come in or not. So it definitely made me a stronger person. It made me an independent person. I'm working on my trust issues. You know, I'm working on everything. I'm working on healing, because I need to heal for me and no one else. Well, actually, a couple people, and that's, well, plenty of people, and that's the generation after me. I don't want my kids to go through what I went through. Come on, lizard, you're getting too close. Like, just go that way. Come on. Yeah, go that way, please. But yeah, so it made me who I am. I'm stronger than ever. What's that Usher song? I'm stronger than ever tonight. I think that's how it goes. I don't know. But yeah, that's you know, a little bit of what I went through and how it made me be the person I am today. And me and my mom were still fixing our relationship. Shit is still not perfect. We still fight. She still kicks me out. But I got squatter laws. Drew her. Yo. Oh, I'm dead ass though. But yeah, so me dealing with that as a child, and then, yo, first of all, my mom's gay. So I was confused as to how shit was going on, because I'm like, as far as I can remember, like, I know a man and a woman need to make a child, so I'm here. But she's with another woman, like, she's with another woman. So at first I was confused, like, what's going on here? Like, I never seen this before. But she explained it, you know. It was just like, all right, cool, I understand it. I don't want to say I was embarrassed, but I was a little embarrassed, because it was just like, my mom was different than everybody else's parents. So it was just like, what the fuck? So I never mentioned anything. But if you did ask, I would tell you. But I just wasn't going to bring it up in conversation. I've got into a couple fights, actually, over my mom being gay, because they knew, and then they would, like, say some slick shit. Like, there was this one kid in junior high school. He was actually the nephew of the girl my mom was dating. And he kind of told the whole school. First of all, we're in 6th grade. He was in 5th grade. He told the whole, like, we were walking, and he told the whole, like, he told everybody that was in the hallway, like, yeah, and that's why your mom's gay, or some shit like that. I don't know how it got to that. And I popped on him. I didn't say nothing. I just popped on him. Because it's none of your fucking business. It's none of their business. Like, I popped on him. And then there was another time in high school where this girl said that my mom was gay. And it was just like, by then, it was like, all right, you're late. Like, you're mad late. Like, had it been a couple of years ago, I would have felt some type of way. But I don't. So. But yeah, that was like childhood shit. But look at me now. I'm lit. I have great energy. I have a great vibe. The only thing is, I attract, because I'm healing, and because of the way I am, like, naturally and shit, and because I'm becoming, like, very spiritual, I feel like I attract traumatic people, and I absorb their energy, and it drains me OD. So I always feel like I need to detach for a little bit and do something else, and, like, stay by myself for a little bit, or go, or, like, chill with other friends who really don't have the same issues as me. So, but I will say this. Oh, he has no tail. I will say this. I love my life. I wouldn't change it for the world. It made me who I am. I know that I'm going to break generational curses. I'm going to bring wealth. I'm going to bring peace and sanity. I'm going to bring love. And I'm going to speak life into anyone and everyone who I come across. So yeah, that's a little backstory of, you know, my childhood shit, and why I have trust issues, and why I'm a little toxic in relationships. But I'm working on me, and I'm doing better. I'm doing way better, and I want to continue doing better, and I want to get better, and I want to be a better person, and I just want everybody to feel my vibe and feel my energy, and let's just chill and have fun and turn the fuck up and bring wealth back into, you know, our families. Like, we deserve way more. Fuck Trump.